Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video, and it's the first video of the day that I don't need to try and think about what I'm going to say to fill in time, because I'm going to be doing this video on camera right now, clicking the buttons live, like yay, look, clicky clicky, oh wait, yay, clicky clicky, see? We're going to talk about Cammy, right? I'm trying to think of the best screen to talk about Cammy, whether we should go into her trial realm or whether we should just go into the gallery. I'm thinking we'll go into the gallery. It's probably a bit easier to go into the gallery, right? So we'll go to the gallery. There's Cammy. Obviously that's not my copy, I don't have her at SSS, I've got her at A rank, right? So we're going to go over Cammy's kit. We're going to talk about her as a unit. We'll have a wee look at her entrance video while I'm doing this introduction, and I'm going to tell you if I think you should summon or not, right? So straight up, what will we start with? I think we will start with just looking at her normal combos, then we'll look at her exclusive equipment or her fighting spirit, and then we'll look at her cards, right? So, Shadow, Spiral. By the way, can I just point out one thing? This is not a moan, it's going to sound like a moan, right? But, I mean, using units and giving them other costumes and like different abilities is not new for gacha games. It's something that gacha games do. The one thing I do not like about Street Fighter Duel is the move animations. They're all the same. It's like, if you're going to give them different moves and different abilities, cool, but make them do different stuff. I mean, it's just a gripe, right? And it does sound like a moan. I guess it is a moan, right? But at that point it becomes a reskin. Like, if you're just like literally just reusing the animations and stuff, you're just slapping a new costume on and making it do different things. You could just like actually put a bit of effort in and do different moves, different animations. I don't think it's too much to ask, right? This applies to all the characters. If you go and look at them, every character who's got an ult, pretty much near enough, just repeats the same animations as they do. Even V Vega, his animations are reused elsewhere as well. It's pretty common. I just think it would be cool if they could maybe innovate a little bit and just change things up. I'm asking a lot there, but it doesn't seem like I'm asking a lot, but for that company, I'm probably asking a lot, right? So anyway, let's look at her kit. So AoE, I think she's an AoE for everything. Yeah, she's an AoE for everything, right? Launch a drill kick at the current target, dealing soul damage equal to 265% of attack to enemies in an area simultaneously. Shadow Assassin will launch a spinning kick from behind the target, dealing soul damage equal to 245% of damage of attack, to all targets in its path. When this skill ends, the fighter gains 1 kinetic. Okay. Now let's look through here. You can see that that's boosted. Okay, obviously it goes up. I'm not going to read what the percentages go up to. You can see it yourself, right? This part is important. What does kinetic do, right? Increases combo damage by 5% for 20 seconds, stacks up to 6 times. So that's a total boost of 30% combo damage, okay? So that should in theory apply to all of them. Or is that just, I see, this is where I get confused, because that's called combo. That's called a super combo. Now a super combo is still a combo, right? So super combo, combo, combo. Do they all get boosted? I think they do, but in case they don't, let's just say, you know, at least their C1 or their C3 is going to get boosted. I do believe it's both of them, but sometimes the game can be funny where things are activated on a combo and it literally means combo 1 or combo 2, but then sometimes it can be all the combos, so we'll just run on the presumption of 1 and 3, right? Combo 1. Charge up and perform an axe kick, granting this fighter 1 kinetic and dealing soul damage equal to 533% of attack to enemies in a small area. Increase damage to 633% of attack. Recover 100 super combo gauge after unleashing this skill. Damage increased to... I just read it, I said I wasn't going to do that. I mean, that can be useful just for gaining gauge, right? Again, if you're going to run this unit, I feel like you're probably going to use her super and her C3, so I feel that a lot of times with these units where, unless you're maybe going to run her on a team with, I don't know, Elena, the trigger Elena for healing, so you're not actually using a heal or a shield on your C1. Well, obviously you can still use a shield on your C1 if you're using Elena, but if you've decided, right, I want an all-out attack team and I'll just use Elena for healing, then maybe you would put her on a team where you want to gain gauge quite a lot, so you're going to have her doing the C1. I mean, maybe. I don't see it myself, but maybe. This is what I see people using. Combo free. Leap up and launch a spiral attack dealing soul damage equal to 262% of attack to enemies in a small area. Simultaneously, Shadow Assassin will launch an attack that deals soul damage equal to 242% of attack to targets in a small area. Now obviously that doesn't sound too different to the first one, but that evolves, okay? Essentially, part of your cars and passives and all the rest of it kind of evolve this, okay? So, this is part of the evolution. I'm calling kinetic your passive, right? Is kinetic your passive? I don't think it is, right? Ooh, la la la. Upon reaching 6 kinetic, expend all kinetic stacks to strengthen the skill, increasing the number of Shadow Assassins to 4 and combo damage by 30% for 20 seconds. This effect does not require the skill to be unlocked. What does that even mean? Would you not have the skill unlocked anyway? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Just gotta be honest, I don't know what that means. Increase this fighter's damage to blah blah blah. Gain 50% crit rate and ignore 25% defense when unleashing a strengthened Shadow Drill. That's good. Increase this fighter's damage to 292% of attack and 272% of attack. Again, pretty good, although I think the level 3 is probably the biggie there, if I'm being completely honest. Let's look at our passive, right? Now our passive's quite good because the shadows have got like additional abilities. Now they've not got like a massive chance of getting them, but they do have them. Shadow Assassin's 20% chance of inflicting 1 times weaken, a 20% chance of inflicting 1 times bleed, a 20% chance of inflicting 1 grave injury, and a 20% chance of increasing damage received by the target by 5%. Each stack stacks up to 5 times and lasts for 15 seconds. This effect does not require the passive skill to be unlocked. So I'm guessing it's just what, level 1, because the only time your skills aren't unlocked is like when you're super low. So is it saying that this is just available all the time? It's weird. But whatever. We're going to circle back to that, right? Upon unleashing a skill that involves Shadow Assassin, Shadaloo Cammy gains 100% effect resist for 3 seconds. Upon unleashing a skill that involves Shadow Assassin, Shadaloo Cammy gains 50% damage reduction. Upon unleashing a skill that involves Shadow Assassin, Shadaloo Cammy gains 5% increased crit damage for 15 seconds. Unleashing a skill that involves Shadow Assassin, she gains 5% increased attack, but that is free. You need to have 3-star EX move. Elegant follow-up. Is that the Cammy Vega one? Hang on, go double check that, right? If I go to actual Cammy. No, it's the new one. Oh, wait a minute. If that's got it, then why has that not got it? Well, that seems a bit strange. Because that one affects all Cammies. As you can see, quite clearly, that affects all Cammies. That one affects all Cammies. So what? Is there a limit? Can these only affect up to 6 characters at a time or something? And they're just like... I don't get that. I don't get why that one affects all Cammies. And then the new one doesn't get affected by that. Because that also affects all Cammies. So it can't be anything to do with her being an Inferno, or else she wouldn't be here. This got to just say something, being completely honest and blunt here. This just seems like a blatant attempt to force you into going for that EX move, if I'm being completely honest, and pushing it to 3 stars. Do I think that's a good thing? No, I don't. I don't think that's actually very, very good at all. I think that's pretty poor doing that. Yeah, don't get that at all. Don't get why they would just make it not applicable for her, but it is for every other one. Especially when you look at the comparison between the 2 EX moves. Seems pretty shitty if you ask me. Let's look at the Fighting Spirit. Upon entering battle, gain 1 kinetic, and right, so she's automatically going to get a kinetic with that, so she'll start with 2 if you're doing her super, so that'll get her 2. Assist. When the fighter's in assist position, when the assisted fighter receives a finishing blow for the first time, they will gain damage immunity for 3 seconds, 12% increased life. Oh! She's going to make a good assist then. She's going to stop you dying. She's not going to stop... Wait, is she going to stop you dying? Damage immunity for 3 seconds. She won't stop you dying to the extent of Vega, but she's going to stop you dying. So against bossing and stuff, that'll be pretty good, because obviously bosses don't have ignore damage immunity. So for against a boss, she'll pretty much work the same as Virgil. She'll be a good assist. So yeah, I like that. It's decent. Unlocked at +10 when entering the battle, gain 2 kinetic and 20% increased dodge. That's good, because then that means you're going to have 3 of them pretty quickly. At 20, upon inflicting weaken, bleed or grave injury on an enemy, dispel 1 debuff from this fighter and gain 50% increased crit damage while unleashing a strengthened shadow drill. Cool. Right, so let's just double check her skills again. Right, so she gains 1 kinetic there. Does she gain any kinetic here? No, she doesn't. Let's look at our cars. Garage. Shadow Spiral Arrow. Soul damage buff now applies to all friendly fighters. Every 8 seconds during battle, gain 1 kinetic. Yeah. Cars. Right. So if you've got cars with her, she's going to be a monster. She's going to do a lot, right? Upon receiving a finishing blow for the first time, this fighter will gain damage immunity for 3 seconds, 12% increased lifesteal rate, and until the end of battle, 6 kinetic and... Wait. Till the end of battle, 6 times kinetic and recover. Right, okay, so she only gets the kinetic 1 time, right? I don't know where my cameras went, let's get that back. Okay, I got it back. Yeah, so cars is the answer, right? You get cars, she's going to get the stacks pretty easily. Now you obviously want the stacks, because if you go back and look at her C3, which we can see here, expend all kinetic stacks and strengthen the skill, increasing the number of shadow assassins to 4 and combo damage, right? So the fact is, you're going to have 4 of those shadow assassins attacking, and what that should mean is you technically have a 20% chance of getting each of these, right? Now, if you look at the actual time here, you can see that the shadow assassins are going to be like that for 20 seconds. Now if you're doing the whole combo build up thing, in 20 seconds you can probably do, I want to say maybe 3 super through to C3s, and if you're doing the supers you should be building up your kinetic stacks again, so you might be at a point where you're kind of in perpetual having this system, because remember you start with 3. So if you're starting with 3, if you're still going to be gaining them every few seconds from your garage, having all the cars, and you're also doing your super through to your C3, you should be building them up enough that you're probably just going to keep that. And that just means that every single time you're attacking, because you're going to be getting 4 times, sorry, that means that your super, if you look here, the Shadow Assassin is doing 245% damage. That's going to be times 4, because you're going to have 4 shadows. And if you're going to look here, you get this again. What the Shadow does is going to be times 4, because you've got 4 shadows. And then if you look here, all of these is going to be times 4, because you get 4 shadows. Now that's not 20% times 4, that's 4 chances, okay? So just to be clear, the 20%, 20% isn't going to change, but you're going to have 4 individuals potentially being able to trigger that 20%. So ultimately Cammy's a good unit, but I wouldn't summon her, right? And the reason I wouldn't summon her is not necessarily a negative thing, right? Just to be clear. So I do think she's probably going to be pretty damn good in bossing. I could actually see the potential here for her being I'm not saying she's going to be Flame Adon levels or anything, but I could see her potentially on the right team, maybe out damaging the turtles. I think it's possible. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know, but I do think it's possible. But I still wouldn't go for her right now. I'm not saying don't go for her at all, I'm saying don't go for her right now. The reason I'm saying that is because, 1, she's not limited, right? Guys, just get that clear. She's not limited, right? She's going to be here, she's not going anywhere, okay? Now, I've spoken about this before, obviously, we all know the game's not doing as well as it used to do, but we don't know how long the future is for this game. It could have another 6 months, it could have another year. So, with the anniversary coming out next month, I would hold your tickets, because traditionally speaking, even in this game, the biggest units usually come at the anniversary. The 1 year anniversary, it was Visconde Vega, and just before Visconde Vega we did get a good unit. So I would really hate for everyone to like completely blow through all the tickets, because Cammy is good, right? But I would hate for everyone to blow through their tickets and then a game-changing unit comes out for the 1 year anniversary and you've not got enough for her or him. Probably her, because they only release waifus now. It will probably be like busted jury or something, I don't know. But I would hold. Now I do think if you summon for Cammy, you're not going to be disappointed. I do think she's going to have uses in bossing and PvP, because she's fast, right? We didn't touch on that, but she's a fast unit, right? I do definitely think she's going to have viability, and I think she's going to do pretty damn well. I just think that for the sake of what is potentially 4 weeks, I think it makes more sense to wait for the anniversary. Now I'm not discouraging if you still spend and you're happy buying tickets, then yes, go for Cammy, because when the anniversary comes along, you're just going to buy tickets and get the new unit anyway, so it doesn't matter to you. But for people who are more conservative with their spending, I would say that you should at least take a wait and see approach. See what happens at the anniversary, see what the unit's like, and if the unit's not good, jump in and get Cammy. As simple as that. Is she going to be better than V Vega and stuff? I mean, you can ultimately say it's too early to tell, but I'm going to say no, because V Vega has got ignored damage immunity. That ignored damage immunity does really put him above most things in the game, but that does not mean that she's not a fantastic unit. So I do think that we're looking at a really solid unit with Cammy here. I do think she's going to have a lot of use, a lot of utility. I don't actually ultimately think you would be disappointed if you get her. What I do think you would be disappointed with is if you get her using all your tickets and then some meta shifting unit comes out next month and you've got nothing left. So I think it's better to take a wait and see approach on this one and just maybe wait and get her next time. That's my opinion on it. And also, I would like to be 100% sure that her shadow clones are working the way they're supposed to, the way they're described and stuff like that, because ultimately she should be outputting a hell of a lot of damage. She should be, because she's attacking with 4 of those clones. She should be doing huge numbers, but again, we're going to have to wait and see. But that's it. Ultimately, yeah, that is it. I've been Hayzink. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. So peace out, guys, and I will see you all on the next one. Goodbye.